Good evening, good morning, fellow Biafrans. I have come this evening with great sadness in my heart to communicate very important message to you, Biafra people, and the lovers of freedom, and those friends of Biafrans around the world. Dear friends, dear Biafrans, dear families, IPOB families around the world, and those who are with us today in this liberation phase of Biafra. We need to pay respect to those who were dear to us, that lost their lives, and those that were very dear to us, that lost their properties, and those that were dear to us
to become mainstream.
that
So, Father, I want to ask you again.
lost
I want to
their businesses,
ask you of
and those that were dear to us that have just lost their means of livelihood in Imo State yesterday, being the 17th day of September 2022, by the repentant Boko Haram that has been recruited to the Nigerian army, both on the ground and the air bombardment. Fellow Biafrans, there is a mural in the Olo town of Imo State, where many people, many Biafrans and non-Biafrans lost their life in the Nigeria Army terror attack yesterday. We are yet to know the names of yesterday's victim of the Nigeria Army attack. We have seen different images coming out from Olu. We are working very hard to get exact number of persons and their details who have lost their life in the Nigeria Caliphate and jihadist government attack in quest to quench Biafra from coming in 2023. Fellow Biafrans, today we are all mourning all the victim of this terrorism in Biafra land, both those killed by the state actors and those killed by non-state actors. Each of their life was different in their different ways. Each of their lives were unique in their own ways. They came from different places, from different background, yet all of them suffered the same absurd fate from the government that claim to have sworn in sworn some stupid oath to protect the life of those who find themselves in Nigeria, irrespective of their political differences. Like hundreds of others in the street of Olo, Ihiala, and the other part of Biafra and environ, those who have lost their properties and their businesses at the Ahia Ototo market in Imo State, those who have lost their businesses to the coordinated fire and attack in Onitsha market, those Biafrans who have been subjugated to all manner of attack all over Nigeria, those who have suffered bomb explosion in Ablado in Lagos State, those who have lost their businesses in Kano State, those who have lost their market, properties in other part of Nigeria as a result of coming from the eastern Nigeria and becoming a Biafran. The list can go on and on and on. We are here with you today to tell you that you are not alone. Today, we remember each of you. We remember each of those who have paid with their life for just finding themselves in Nigeria, for becoming the victim of the latest genocide going on in Nigeria. Today, we remember each of them. But remembrance must lead to action every day. After every attack against our people in Biafra land by the Nigeria state, by the terrorists in uniform, by the army, and all of them, we will all try to go back to our normal lives. Yet, for the victims, for their families, for the survivors, that is just impossible. It is impossible to go back to normal life after seeing what the Nigeria state have done to people of Biafra in Imo State, being orchestrated by a man called Hope Uzodinma, who is the governor. The identity and the origin may not be known as a result of his actions. It remains questionable whether Hope Uzodinma is a Biafran or not, or whether Hope Uzodinma is from Igbo extraction or not. This particular question will be answered in due time, because Hope Uzodinma actions have crossed the red line of no forgiveness. And we are going to make sure that he pays dearly for the crimes against humanity and for the crimes committed against his own people and against Biafra at large. This is the reason, and that is why we must all stand in solidarity with them, those who have been affected by this impunity and the atrocities of the Nigeria state under the watch of Hope Uzodinma. We must stand in solidarity with them and support their needs, while we continue to work to ensure that these tragedies do not happen again without retaliation. We must make sure that this attack in Imo State yesterday will not happen again without retaliation. We know that the reason why this attack happened, and more of it may come different ways, is because they have seen the momentum Biafra agitation have gathered, and they have seen that there are possibilities that Biafra will come next year. They have seen the possibility that Nigeria will disintegrate in 2023. They have seen how serious we are, and they know that we can actually achieve that because we know that they know that we have come to understand the loopholes, how to disintegrate Nigeria. Having discovered these particular loopholes, how Nigeria will be destroyed and disintegrated, they are coming out very hard on our people. And like I said, first and foremost, we must stand by the survivors and their families. Those who have lived with the scars of Nigeria Fulani Terrorist Act, they need special support. That is why we are working very hard to liberate Biafra by 2023. So we do not need to be afraid of being attacked whenever we rise up to ask questions to those who have been elected or those who, out of corruption and bribery, ascend to power. In Biafra, you will not be scared for asking questions. And that is exactly the same thing we have tried to eradicate in the movement for the restoration of Biafra, which is the ability for people to ask questions when they feel confused or when they feel that things are not, they don't understand what is going on. That is exactly what the autopilot under Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, of which I am the spokesperson, have tried to make sure we put culpability where culpability is. That is why we must work very hard to liberate Biafra by 2023 so that Biafra can help them and they rebuild their lives. We must rebuild the lives of everybody that the Nigeria government have destroyed their businesses and their lives. Immediately Biafra is restored next year. It is going to be the first thing the Biafra government will do, is to give life to those who have suffered very grave injustice, attack, and have had a serious scars of the Nigeria in them. Biafra will give them support, facilitate compensation when possible. And Biafra will help them to get back to our life as soon as Biafra is liberated by 2023. I want to secondly say the freedom of Biafra will heal the wound of slavery and bring lasting peace to Africa. Biafra liberation will bring to an end to poverty and hunger. Poverty and hunger can be fought through inclusion and education, and only in Biafra will this be possible. This is the reason Biafra must be preached to our children, young ones, and to our business places. This must be done every day in our communities, in our schools, and in our public places and public debate. On this note, we are going to have a 1 minute silent in respect and honor to those who have died, even when they know nothing about the activities of the Eastern Security Network. We are going to give 1 minute silent to Biafrans who has fallen in Lagos bomb attack, those who have fallen in terrorist attack in the church in Oduduwa land, those who have been lynched in the north, those who have been killed in Kaduna State, in other part of the Middle Belt, and those who have died for just being a Nigerian. We are going to observe 1 minute silent for them. May their soul continue to rest on, and they will all be remembered when Biafra has been restored as a nation. We want to give our thanks and respect to the men of the Eastern Security Network who have always stood their ground to teach the terrorist Nigeria a lesson. We will continue to thank them, and they will continue to be in our prayers. Those who have volunteered to fight for the freedom of Biafra. The commanders of the Eastern Security Network, our respect goes to all of you. Those men on ground who stood and fought like men, our respect goes to you. The story of how they are collecting it will not be announced by us. The code remain water, water, and they will continue to come to the open to show how we have dealt with them. We will continue to deal with them until they will come no more. Thirdly, and a very crucial one, every person in our Biafra provinces that has the right to do something must now rise up to the challenge that we are facing. Everyone in our Biafra provinces has the right to feel safe in their street and in their homes. And this requires cooperation within every agitating group. The auto-piloted IPOB have been able to achieve. The reason why we have been able to build the relationship and alliances within the Biafra agitating group and those with arms and all that is to make sure that you feel safe in your street and in your homes. We have been able to achieve that. Today, the insecurity is coming from the Nigeria state-sponsored terrorists, both those who pretend to be wearing Nigeria Army uniform and those who pretend to be wearing the DSS uniform. It is no longer coming from those they perceive as criminals. And this requires cooperation within agitating groups. We have done that. We need to work together to tackle Nigeria terrorist network across our state, to deny them access to intels about the activities of the Biafra agitating group and the liberation forces. The intels against our security network. This must be achieved by joining forces. We can maintain our community as an area of freedom and security. Those you see creating one or another security outfit today are those who Mazen Nnamdi Kanu said will be paid to try to destroy the Biafra restoration, but they will all fail. We want to make it very clear that the commanders of the Eastern Security Network have dealt with these terrorists attacking our people. And they have worked very hard, incessantly, to make our communities and our farmland safer. Those of you in Biafra land who couldn't go to the farm 3 years ago, you understand that today it is no longer the same. Those of you who could not go to your farmland, you couldn't go to the stream, you couldn't go to, to do anything in the forest. Today, you can go to the forest without nobody butchering you with machete. I believe you understand this better than anyone else. The time to fight Nigeria Fulani and the repentant Boko Haram in Nigeria army terrorizing our people is now. The army terrorism, fighting them shouldn't be after the attack or aftermath of an attack. I repeat, as it stands today, the time to fight the Fulani terrorists and the repentant Boko Haram in Nigeria army is not in the aftermath of an attack. The attack and the retaliation should be every day. And every day we will continue to fight them. At the same time, we fight for the Biafra liberation. I want you to understand that the reason why you see the bombardment in Imo State is to provoke us into quick retaliation, is to provoke us into coming out without having finished the planning of how Biafra will be restored next year. They want to rush us into coming out, I wouldn't say unprepared, because we are prepared. But there is something that needed to be done before anything complete guerrilla welfare will be activated. And they are trying to provoke us into coming out. They know that the Ahia Ototo market is not a place where any security outfit is being camped. They know that our communities are not the place where our security are being camped. But the reason for bombardment of our communities is for the economic jihad. They do it in the north, they do it in the middle belt, whenever they want to help the Fulani to capture a particular place. They first of all attack the community from the air. I want to inform you, Biafrans, today that very soon, just very, very soon, we are going to have a non-fly zone Biafra airspace. This may sound very funny. It may sound very unreal. It may sound like a joke, but you will all be alive to see the enforcement of a no-fly zone in Biafra airspace very soon. I know that those who have been fighting for Biafra for over 10 years, it will be hard for them to believe. They were never pure in their fight for Biafra. And all these years of your financial contribution, they have achieved nothing. There is no air defense system from them. But I'm telling you today that we will shock you. We will shock you beyond your expectation. In no distance time, we will declare a no-fly zone in entire Biafra airspace. They can continue to bombard our communities, our market, our houses, and everything. Tell Biafrans today to stay very strong. We are almost at the end of the road. And everybody who have endured this particular time we are will have every reason to enjoy what Biafra have to offer, especially the freedom. The time to fight them has come, and we are fighting them. And they know that we are fighting them. Only them and us knows what is going on. A lot of things are happening that many of you do not know. And we do not need to come and start telling you, but they know what I'm talking about. They are going to this State of the Nation broadcast today, and they know exactly what I'm talking about. We are not moved by this bombardment. Our only concern is to give encouragement and help those who have become victim of the Nigeria jihadist government. We also take a solemn vow to eradicate these terrorists completely, both those in uniform and those of the non-state actors in Biafra land, and build a Biafra that is freer and more secure. And this is going to be happening just very soon. I want to maintain that the checking point in Biafra land, we have announced it. We maintain there will be no checkpoint going forward in Biafra land. That is not to say that you are not going to see them tomorrow. That is not to say you are not going to see them next week. You're going to see them. But we have officially banned the checkpoint in Biafra land. Anywhere in Biafra land, you see checkpoints from tonight to just maintain and continue to show our readiness. Every checkpoint in Biafra land from tonight is hereby banned. Now, the attack yesterday has shown the fear they have over Biafra coming in 2023. They simply want us to come out. They simply want us to retaliate immediately. And let me make it very clear to Biafrans today, we will definitely retaliate the attack of yesterday. I want to make it clear, Biafra people are going to retaliate the attack of yesterday. But believe me, patience is the best answer for now. This attack will help us to build a very strong case we have against Nigeria. The attack of yesterday will contribute in the case that we are presenting to the world against Nigeria state. We therefore ask everyone, every Biafran on social media, to go to Twitter. Not that we are looking for anything to happen through the Twitter. Not that we are expecting anything to come from the Twitter. But let us continue to call out the United Nations with at least over 10,000 tweet and retweet between now and tomorrow. Between now and the end of tomorrow evening. So I call every Biafrans this evening to go to Twitter, post the video of the attack in Imo State, and tag the United Nations. Like I said, we are not expecting them to do anything. But we have a reason why we want you to go to Twitter and let us have at least 10,000 to 20,000 retweets of the attack in Imo State between now and tomorrow. We have our reason for that. If you are fighting for Biafra and you are on Twitter, personally, I have over 50,000 followers on Twitter. After this State of the Nation address, I am going to post the video. We are expecting everyone in Twitter or on Twitter fighting for Biafra or those lovers of Biafra to retweet and tweet until we get up to 10,000 retweets, calling the attention of the United Nations over the bombardment of Imo State yesterday. For the very last one, before I leave, I want to assure Biafrans we are going to retaliate the attack against us yesterday. At the same time, we are patient. From here, may God bless you. Long live Biafra. Long live Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Long live our great Ikemba Nnewi. Long live his soul. Continue to rest. Live those who have reincarnated, those who have died for Biafra and have reincarnated. Long live your spirit, and may long live those who are still waiting before something will happen before they join us. May God bless you.